Well, for those of you that are new to the channel, my name is Jonah Clement, and I assume if you clicked on the video or the thumbnail, you probably came to this video with questions like, why am I alone? Am I ever going to meet, my people? Will I ever have a friend? Will I ever date? Am I always going to be single? Why does it feel like the world is isolating me and rejecting me? Why am I alone? And I've had questions like that rummaging around in my head since the age of 13. But I want you all to know that you are not alone. God, the universe, source, whatever you call it, loves you, especially when you feel isolated and alone, and even when you cannot feel its presence or hear that voice inside of you that's proud of you and supporting you. I've been there. And I also want you to know I'm here for you in the purest sense of the word. And I really care about each and every one of my viewers and really each and every person in this world. And this is one of those things where if you ever feel alone or isolated or just want to talk, I'm happy to have a conversation with you. You can just leave a comment below and we can have a conversation. I'm happy to just discuss these feelings with you and give you my perspectives and experiences that I've gone through, and we can discuss your experiences and kind of work through it together, because I'm happy to be an ear for anyone, because I truly understand these feelings deeply, and it's something that I wish most people didn't have to go through, but it's something that's very unique, but it's also kind of normal in today's world. And that's ironic that we live in this digital age today. We have our phones, computers, social media, all these things that are supposed to supposedly bring us together, eliminate a lot of this isolation, but it's creating these relationships through screens, and it's basically detracting from the physical connection and going out and meeting new people and making friends out and about, or relationships and whatnot in the actual, what I like to call the real world, the world that we can tangibly see, not the ethereal internet space. And that's not to downplay any relationships created online. I actually remember growing up, I had a few Xbox friends that got me through a lot. It was nice to be able to hop online late at night after school and just play Call of Duty and all of these online multiplayer games and just party up and talk with people that had similar interests in me, at least in video games. But that's also, I realize, very limiting, because it's still, not necessarily that physical connection, but it's not to downplay, again, any online friendships or relationships. I think those can be just as beneficial. But if that's all you have, it's something where that might not be enough at some point. So I understand what it's like to be in this situation. I get it. This started for me personally when I was 13 after my mother passed, and it basically shattered my world at that time. I had made major trust and abandonment issues, which basically I closed myself off completely to the world. I didn't want to be around people, and the friends that I did have, I never really opened up to them. I always felt empty being in a room with people. I could be surrounded by my closest friends, surrounded by a community, and I felt totally alone and isolated from them. And I know that a lot of you might feel that. And that's one of the worst feelings to have, is when you actually have friends, yet you still feel alone being around your friends. And that existed all the way through high school and college, and even people that I really enjoyed being around and really cared about them. And it wasn't a lack of caring about them or them feeling, or me feeling, a lack of love or concern from them. I just felt alone and isolated from the world and other people. And I don't wish that on anyone. I don't wish you to feel that at all. And that's honestly why I'm creating this video. So as I aged and got older, left college and got into the post-college world, got a job and all of that. It didn't go away. I didn't have any friends after leaving college. Kind of my friend group fell apart due to certain reasons, and not really exasperated that loneliness and that feeling of being alone. So what ended up happening was, through this time, I started to introspect a lot and reflect internally on this feeling. And I became aware and understood that I had this feeling, and it was just constant and present. And in that awareness, I understood that I had a choice. And that's the key thing there. When you recognize what you're feeling, that is one of the greatest things you can have and one of the greatest blessings and gifts. Because once you're aware of your feelings, emotions, actions, thoughts, whatever choices, you're no longer that emotion, you're no longer that action, you're the awareness of that. And in that gives you power to actually decide how you feel. And that's for me what happened was I was aware that I was feeling alone, and I was like, I don't want to feel this anymore. This feels terrible. I hate going through life and always feeling like the world is just basically crapping on me everywhere, even though that was my perception of the world and not necessarily what the world was doing. And with that awareness, I just made a decision one day, I'm going to try to change. And it wasn't overnight. This took many years, and it was a lot of working through past trauma and healing some really old wounds, really related to abandonment and trust issues, and trying to just slowly open my heart back up to other people in the world. And really, more so than anything, opening up my heart to myself and being okay with my own presence and be able to sit in a room by myself and not be like fidgeting and freaking out that I'm like, God, I don't want to be alone. I hate being by myself. Like that, I understand that. It sucks being in that spot and being in that place in your life where you cannot stand being in a room with yourself. But the thing is you have to make a choice. You have to decide if this is how you want to feel or not. That is one of your greatest gifts. That is what God gave us, free will over everything, to determine how we feel, to determine the choices we make, our thoughts, our actions, and our emotions. And loneliness is an emotion, and you don't have to feel it. You can choose to feel something else and fill yourself up with something else. So when I made that choice, that I was going to, work away from feeling this emotion, I had to basically figure out, how are we going to do this? And that kind of got me along this path of, okay, let's actually figure out things that I enjoy, things that fulfill me, things that Jonah likes to do, things that bring me a sense of belonging and purpose within myself and eliminates this sense of feeling alone. And through that, I found out that I really enjoy working out and lifting weights. I absolutely love the outdoors. I go hiking, or at least try to go hiking a couple times a month. I have a dog, and we go on walks all the time throughout the day. I actually found out that I really, really enjoy being creative and creating this content and synthesizing my experiences and knowledge and all of the books and everything that I've experienced in life, and trying to teach other people so that they can kind of have a guide stone and awareness of like, hey, I'm not alone, and we can work this together because we are all in this together. I also learned that I really enjoyed cooking. Ironically, I practice different recipes and different things all the time with cooking, and just enjoy that. I still enjoy video games. I love film. I always loved those things, and I knew that was something that I've always enjoyed. But through that, I started to learn, like, I actually have a lot of things that I can do by myself, and I don't need other people around that bring me fulfillment and bring me enjoyment and actually make it fun to spend time alone. And again, I highly recommend that it's something that you kind of, if you're feeling these feelings and you have that awareness that you don't want to feel lonely anymore, figure out things that bring you fulfillment and enjoyment. Figure out something that's your purpose, something that drives you forward. In my experience, something that I'm really trying to do is teach other people and guide people, and help them along their journey of life, spiritually, emotionally, in all facets. That's really what I enjoy doing, and I'm doing this not as a sense of not just fulfillment, but I really want to help other people. That's the goal behind this, and that's something that drives me forward. And I challenge you and encourage you to figure out stuff that brings you fulfillment and drives you forward. It provides you with a purpose. And something intrinsic, not external, because external stuff, of course you can have external things that fill you up. I I like going on hikes, like I said, and whatnot, cooking and working out. And there's other things too. I haven't mentioned them though. But figure out something inside yourself that allows you to enjoy your own presence. And it's hard. It is not easy. It takes time. This transition, this perception, this moving from loneliness into a more positive mindset is something that it takes time and it takes effort and it takes energy, but it just takes repetition and doing it over and over again, waking up and doing the work every single morning. And the funny part is I actually kind of view my isolation and loneliness as a gift. It's how you view things. In my experience, I don't necessarily believe in a bad or good situation. I just believe in the fact that there's a situation and then you apply the meaning to it. So if you view your loneliness as bad, then it's going to be bad. But if you view your loneliness as being benign or indifferent or a good thing, and that it gives you the opportunity to, work on your own purpose or work on your own dreams, your pursuits, or you can learn more about yourself and come to terms with, accepting and loving yourself, that to me is a boon that has been given to you. And it's something that not everybody experiences, because some people, they never get the ability to spend a stint of life alone or spend any time alone. I've been in this state of isolation for really more recently, probably like 3 to 4 years, with just me not really having any really close friends. I have a couple friends that I keep in touch with back home, or not back home, I used to live in Nashville, that I keep in touch with them. We text every now and then, but it's not like I see them every day or I'm super, necessarily involved with their lives. We talk about things, but it's not like something where it's like a super in-depth connection. But of course I still care about them. So with that, I really, really want you to understand that we come into this world alone and we're going to leave it alone. You will, when you die, you experience that by yourself. There's nobody there with you. You might have people beside you, on your deathbed or whatever. But that inherent experience of dying, you are going through that by yourself. That is all something you experience on your own. And I'll leave you with this. Do you want to feel comfortable and safe and secure in that loneliness and in that moment? Or do you want to be scared and fearful because you don't know how to be alone? And I always say perception is reality. So take this loneliness and figure out something to do with it. And I hope it's positive, and I hope it's something that brings you fulfillment and joy. And I don't think any of us are meant to be alone for extended periods of time. I believe that humanity, being human, you need community, you need people around you. And I believe that if you want that, you need to go out and act on it. That's something I'm working on. I'm not perfect at it either. But if you want friends, you need to figure out, go put yourself in a club or figure out things you like, go find a group and do it. You probably have heard advice like this before. Maybe start your own group. I don't know. That's an idea too. But you can't just close yourself off from the world and expect people to knock on your door. And on top of that, if you're constantly in this state of complaining, like, why am I alone? Why am I alone? You're basically permeating these negative emotions out there. So you're just going to attract people like that into your life that are feeling the exact same thing. And your friends, the people that your community that you want to spend time with, they deserve you at your greatest and you deserve them at their greatest. And part of that's building it together. But truthfully, you need to ask yourself a question. Am I going to rise above and make the choice not to feel this anymore? Or am I just going to wallow and drown in this feeling? And I choose to not wallow in this feeling. I choose to rise above it. And it's work every single day, but I believe every single one of you have the capability to do this. Every single one of you. It's just a choice. It's a conscious decision. And the thing is, most people want to surrender that decision to the world and just let things happen to them, rather than being like standing up and just being like, I'm going to fucking do it today. I'm just going to go out there and do it. So, thanks for joining today. I'm going to leave it with that. If you enjoyed the video, I would really, really appreciate you hitting that like button. It does help our channel grow. On top of that, if you aren't already subscribed, hitting that subscribe button also helps the channel grow. It helps with the algorithm. It gets this message out to more people. If you like the video, you can also share it with your friends or family, or anybody that you would like, or just post it on social media or whatnot. And other than that, like I mentioned before, if you want to leave a comment, I highly recommend that. I would love to have a conversation with anybody. Even it's something like, I just want to talk about my feelings, or I just want to talk about what I'm going through. I'm happy to have a conversation with you, like every single one of you. I really encourage you to leave a comment if you have anything to say or have any opposing viewpoints. So other than that, I hope you have a great rest of your day. And I want you to know again, we're all in this together. I'm here for you. The universe is here for you. God's here for you. And we just need to be here for each other. So I'll leave you with that. Have a great day.